What's up, guys? Nick Rapazzi here. Welcome to the Paradise C6 YouTube channel. So as you guys see right behind me, I finally got the Datsun back from getting sandblasted, and it came out way better than I thought it would. There is a lot of gremlins that showed up, and talking to Benny, that he's the one that owned the car before me, the guy that he bought it off of owned a body shop, and it just seems like a lot of shoddy work was done. And you could tell just with the amount of Bondo that is on this car, like pretty much this whole panel right here is just Bondo, which this doesn't really matter because most of this is going to get cut out anyway, especially up here, all this like rusted area, that's all going to get cut out. And you can see any like deep rusted areas, instead of actually fixing the metal, they just Bondoed over it. And not fixing it, this stuff will rust from the inside out, and you can see where it's been happening and the amount of Bondo that they put on this thing. And if you look right here, you can see the rust. I don't know if it's gonna show up on camera, but yeah, right in there you can see the rust underneath the Bondo. And that's kind of what happens when you just Bondo over rust and stuff like that. It just rust from the inside out, and it's kind of shitty work, especially with the metal work that's right in here. So again, instead of cutting out the rust properly and replacing it, they just put a patch right over on the outside. Same thing with here. They use some sort of like filling agent to just fill in this hole, and even the sandblaster couldn't get this kind of stuff off. So it's kind of shitty work, but it is what it is. We're gonna come in here, cut all this stuff out, fix it with proper metal, blend it in. I'm gonna do a full engine bay shave, so I'm gonna remove all of these clips and all this kind of stuff, and I'll use rib nuts to hold anything on from the RB motor that we're gonna be putting in this, and try to keep that like as simple as possible. I don't want anything bolted. I want it to be clean. I'm gonna take the old battery tray out. And then the biggest issue, and it's why Benny took the car off the road, is if you look at the frame rails right here, the frame rails on both sides are just rotted in certain areas. And especially where the steering rack and the motor mounts mount up to the frame here, they're all rusted out. And you can see better on this side, like that's where it's all rusted out. And if you start jacking up the car and move this will actually move, because the mounting point isn't really that good here because it's all rusted. So these are gonna get replaced. I already sourced them. They're actually fairly cheap. It was like 250 bucks shipped for both sides. So we're gonna cut those out, weld those in, and I really wanna get this thing up on jack stands. I think I might do that right now, and we'll get underneath and see what's in there. I also have to get in with the shop vac and just vacuum out all the sand that's still in here from it getting sandblasted. But it came out super good. The sandblaster couldn't get this like rubber mat stuff off, which that doesn't matter to me, because I am just gonna clean all this stuff up, and then we're just gonna rhino liner everything and just make it look good again. And it's the same stuff with the shoddy body work that happened. So these floor pans were replaced, and instead of separating the metal and doing this properly, they just placed these in here, put some tack welds, and then they put this tar stuff everywhere. So they basically just tar sealed everything in, and it kind of sucks because it was done half-ass, and when you do stuff half-ass, they start rotting out. And right there where that hole is where the frame rail meets, and we're gonna have to cut that out. The floorboards themselves aren't that bad, it's just the way they were installed. So we're going to clean up all the areas where it's installed, weld them properly, and as you guys know, we're going to be putting I bought a 12-point cage, but I think I'm going to do it probably like a 6 or 8-point style. It doesn't really need a 12-point. We're not doing any crazy racing. I just want to stiffen up the chassis a bit more and just make everything a lot stronger than what it is, because it is a 50-year-old car, and we're going to restore it and make it into a fun daily driver with the 6 or 8-point roll cage in it. So super excited about that stuff and everything that's going to come to this project. And also, I just want to remind you, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I did put a post up on the decals that I talked to you guys about, and the website is up. So if you want to check out the website, it's paradisec6.com. Super simple, same as the YouTube channel name, and you can go check it out. I have a full thing up there. They're $4.99 shipped to your house, and I think I have like 240 of them. And if they sell well, we'll get more. And we do have air fresheners, t-shirts, and key tags coming soon too. So be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. All the money made from that is going to go into this build, so we could do this as a SEMA type build and just not have to worry about expenses on this and just go all out and make it perfect. So yeah, so let me get this thing on jack stands and get the vacuum over here, vacuum up all this sand, and we'll see what the underneath looks like. Alright guys, so we got this thing up on jack stands. I just wanted to show you guys underneath. So he wasn't able to get anything under here, and that's what he told me when I actually went to him to get sandblasted. He would only get what he could reach. But thankfully, most of the stuff under here is pretty decent. So the only areas that I'm really gonna have to really cut into and touch and clean up are the areas where the new floor pans were welded in. And as you can see, the way it was put in and welded and wasn't sealed properly, that this all started to rot over there. My hand's in the way on the camera, but it's right over there. It's all like rusted and rotted. Cut that stuff out, fix everything that we can. Same thing with in here. I'll come under here with a wire wheel, clean this up as best as I can, and fix anything that needs to be. And then we're gonna pull the rear diff, all the suspension components out of this, and we're gonna undercoat every single piece of this. So everything under here will look brand new, be coated, and none of this rust stuff will happen anymore, and we'll keep this thing together for a long time. And what's nice, it really only looks like I'm gonna need to fix the doors. And I was looking at the possibility of getting these in fiberglass, so that might happen as well. But I am gonna attempt to repair some of this stuff and see how this comes out. If I don't like the way the repair looks, we'll just order whole new doors or door skins for this. The rocker panels are definitely gonna get ordered. We're gonna cut this out. I'm gonna undercoat the inside of this before I weld, and probably put some like weld through primer and weld through paint on here just to keep everything from rusting inside there. We'll replace these. None of this is gonna be saved because it's gonna be covered up by the Rocket Bunny kit, so we'll be cutting all of this stuff out, even though it's not bad at all. This right here is going to be part of the rocker panel. This you won't ever see, and it's not worth it for me to try to buy this piece just because it's just not going to be seen whatsoever. So I'm just going to cut this stuff out, box it in, do the same process of welding in and priming the inside so it doesn't rust again. And that's how we'll repair this. Frame rails, I already talked to you guys about that. We're just going to replace the front frame rails. As you can see, they just come to right here, and we can cut the spot welds out, and then we can line it back up and put them back in as well. So these will get replaced brand new. We'll custom make this kind of stuff right here. And the last rust spot, I don't know if I showed it before, but I'll show it right here, is this. And this same thing, I'm just going to cut this out. I'll cut pieces, make this look perfect, because you're gonna see this as part of the A-pillar that you see on the outside of the car. So I'm going to make that look as best as I possibly can. And same thing with this side. The rocker's just all Bondo, so we're just gonna cut this out, replace it, do it properly, not cover things up like everything has been on this. So I think I'm gonna end it there. I do want to change the oil in the Corvette now that it's been tuned and been running for a while. Just put fresh oil so that thing lasts. And the next time you guys see this, we'll be tearing apart the suspension and tires and all that stuff. And I also am going to be recording a video tomorrow of Benny's other Datsun. He's got a second Datsun that he got from someone else, and that's why he gave me this one, because he wanted to see this thing restored again. So yeah, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that video. I'm gonna get to the Corvette stuff so I can go to the gym, and yeah, that's it. So if you did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions whatsoever, I also want your input on things that you want to see with this. So far we're going to be restoring all the metal, Rocket Bunny wide body. Haven't picked out the paint. I kind of have an idea what I want to do, and the scheme of everything. So want your input, what you guys want and what you guys want to see for this build, because I want you guys to be a part of it as well. So, and also if you haven't subscribed yet, smash the subscribe button, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.